Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto X High School DxD, Part 3, subscribe if you enjoy the video, let's start the story. Naruto is currently watching Kadis and Murayama practice their kendo with the rest of the kendo club. On the outside he appeared calm and collected, but on the inside he was pissed. It had been a few days since Rainer, Middled, and Kaloriner told them everything that was going on, and Naruto had already gone with them to get the nun they were going to steal a scared gear from. Her name was Asia, and Naruto almost instantly made it his job to protect her. After seeing just how innocent she was, she quickly became like Naruto's little sister. He even got Sona to enroll her into the academy so that it would be easier to keep an eye on her, but what had him pissed was that, as soon as he wasn't looking, Ria swooped in, told Asia her little sob story, and got Asia to agree to be reincarnated as Ria's bishop with a promise of gaining more friends. Naruto had been so pissed about this that he was unable to compete in the little competition that Risa's and Sona set up in order to see who got to go to the familiar forest. He did calm down some when he got Kaneko to promise to look out for Asia for him when she was with him. He was taken from his thoughts when someone shook his shoulder. Looking up he saw that it was Murayama and Kadis. "Come on Naruto-kun, practice is over," said Murayama. She and Kadis had apparently changed while Naruto was in his thoughts. Naruto simply nodded before getting up and started walking them home. "So Naruto-kun, are you feeling better?" asked Murayama. Naruto had told them everything that had happened with Asia, and while they were surprised to find out that the two great ladies along with the rest of the occult research club were devils, they were also upset with Rias for what she had done and said to Naruto. Yeah, they had convinced him to tell them that too. "I'm still a bit ticked off, but I'm doing better than before," said Naruto. "Wow Naruto-kun, I'm surprised you're so protective of Asia-chan, should we be expecting her to be your newest girlfriend?" asked Kadis. "What, no. If anything, Asia is more of a little sister than anything, I can't explain it, but just looking at her makes me want to protect her from everything," said Naruto. "You know I like seeing this side of you Naruto-kun, it's nice knowing that Asia, Kadis, and I have a big strong panther protecting us," said Murayama. "Shut up, you're making it mushier than it needs to be," said Naruto. "Oh, don't get defensive Naruto-kun, you may act all big and bad, but we know what you're like on the inside," said Kadis. "Oh, and what is that?" asked Naruto. "You're kind, protective, warm, and loving. Face it Naruto-kun, well you're a fierce panther on the outside, on the inside you're a cuddly kitty," said Kadis with Murayama nodding in agreement. Naruto was about to say something before he suddenly froze when he sensed a familiar energy. "Do you feel the Pantera?" asked Naruto in thought. "Yes, I feel it, that girl is here and she's not that far away," said Pantera. "You're ready for another fight, Pantera?" asked Naruto. "I'm always ready for a fight with Naruto, let's go," said an excited Pantera. "Are you okay Naruto-kun?" asked Murayama. "Yeah, I'm fine, I just have something to take care of," said Naruto before walking in another direction. Kadis and Murayama looked at each other before they quickly followed after him. It only took a couple of minutes before found the person he was looking for and she was staring right back at him. "Hey, it's been a while hasn't, Tear?" said Naruto with a smirk. Tear Harable was a beautiful young woman an inch shorter than Naruto with olive skin, aqua eyes, thick eyelashes, short messy blonde hair kept in 3 braided locks, a slender build, long legs, thick thighs, a juicy ass, a flat-toned stomach, and E-cup breasts. For clothes she wore flat-heeled black boots with a white trim, a long white skirt with slits at the sides that showed her thighs, and a long-sleeved white short jacket that only came to just under her breasts with a high collar that covered the lower half of her face. And her nose with rebreathers on it, and the sleeves ended in black glove-like fingers. Kadis and Murayama were actually a bit jealous of Tear's looks and were wondering how Naruto knew her. "Hello Naruto, I can see that you have gotten stronger and Tiburon even tells me that you've become a devil," said Tear. "Yeah, I'm a devil now, I can also see that you've grown stronger as well. I can't wait to test out your new strength," said Naruto with his smirk growing. "I feel the same way, though I do hope you didn't think that becoming a devil will help you beat me," said Tear. "Oh, that never crossed my mind," said Naruto. "Naruto-kun, what's going on and how do you know this woman?" asked Kadis. "The girl is Tear Harable and she has a scared gear similar to my own. We met a long time ago when I was just a kid. We've run into each other quite a few times over the years and every time we meet we have a fight to see who is stronger. These are my girlfriends Kadis and Murayama," said Naruto. "I'm not surprised you've acquired more than one mate Naruto and your power will only attract more women to you. Now I believe it's time for us to test the power we've gained in our time apart," said Tear. "Sure thing, lead the way," said Naruto. Tear nodded before walking off with Naruto following her, Kadis and Murayama following him. It took a couple of minutes before they arrived at an open field just outside of the Kuo. I believe this spot will work, said Tyr. Good, girls please stand far away because things are about to get intense, said Naruto with Murayama and Caddis moving away from the two. Naruto and Tyr both began to release their power on each other. Tyr began to glow yellow, while Naruto glowed blue. The problem is their sudden spike in power alerted anyone that was aware of the supernatural in the area, and, as a result, two magic circles appeared, one with the Gremory crest in it and the other with the Citri crest. From the Gremory magic circle came Rias and her whole peerage, and from the Citri magic circle came Sona and the rest of her peerage. Rias and her peerage were shocked to see that the power they felt was coming from Naruto and the, to them, unknown woman. On the other hand, when Sona and her peerage had felt Naruto's power, they thought he was in trouble and came quickly in order to help out. Naruto, what's going on? Asked Sona while eyeing the woman standing across from Naruto. Sona, what are you guys doing here? How did you even know where I should? I forgot to put up a barrier, didn't I? Asked Naruto. That appears to be the case with Naruto, you can be so careless at times, said Tyr with a shake of her head. Hey, I didn't hear you trying to remind me about the barrier, so don't try to pin all of this on me, said Naruto. Naruto, please explain what is going on, said Sona. Naruto, is this your king? Asked Tyr. Yeah, Tyr, this is Sona Citri, my king. Sona, this is the girl with a sacred gear similar to mine that I told you about, her name is Tyr Harable, said Naruto. The mention of him and Tyr having a sacred gear caught the attention of Rias and her peerage, mostly Rias. Damn it, not only was he half yokai, but he also had a scared gear. He would have made an amazing addition to my peerage, but maybe I have a chance at reincarnating this Tyr woman. Rias thought to herself. I see, well in that case it's nice to meet you Harable-san, said Sona. And you, as well, I must say I'm impressed that you've gotten Naruto of all people to follow you so willingly. It speaks very highly of his opinion of you, as he is not the type to follow just anyone, said Tyr. Thank you, Naruto is very dear to me, said Sona, catching everyone's attention though she ignored this. I hope you don't mind me asking Harable-san, but what are you? Asked Sona. So you were able to feel it, very well, I don't mind telling you. I'm half-breed like Naruto, but while he was half human and half yokai, I am half human and half demon, said Tyr, surprising almost everyone. Why is everyone acting so surprised? I mean, we're all demons, right? Asked Issei while staring at Tyr's breasts and every other pair of large breasts. Naruto scowled at this and wanted to punch him in the face, but he held himself back as he knew acting a member of another devil's peerage would get himself and Sona in a lot of trouble. He didn't care if he got in trouble. But he refused to put Sona through whatever punishment that would come from his actions. I see you haven't encouraged your new pawn to study the underworld, Rias, said Sona with disappointment and irritation in her voice. I haven't had the time for that, Sona, I have something very important coming up, said Rias. Very well, I shall explain for Haidu-sen then. You see, Haidu-sen, there are many beings that live in the underworld, but there are three groups you really need to know about. The first, of course, are devils like us that live in the upper circles of the underworld and have the rankings of low class, middle class, high class, and ultimate class. All devils are intelligent and most of us are powerful. The next group are the demons. They live in the middle circles of the underworld and have the rankings of demon, demon lord, and archdemon. There is only ever one archdemon at any given time. Demons are mostly mindless beasts with only a few having intelligence. They are very powerful, however. The last group are the fiends. They live in the lowest circles of the underworld and are the worst of the worst. They have the rankings of fiend, greater fiend, and archfiend, and just like archdemons, there is only ever one archfiend at any given time. But the fiends, only the greater fiends have intelligence, but all fiends only want to destroy all within their sight, and they have the power to do it, said Sona. Yeah, thanks for the lesson, Sona-sensei, but that doesn't explain why you all were so shocked by Tyr being half demon, said Issei. Don't talk to Sona like that, you moron. Everyone was surprised because demons don't usually deal with humans, let alone have children with them, so demon half-breeds are fairly rare, said Naruto with a sneer for Issei's disrespected Sona. Very Naruto, I'm actually even rarer than that since my mother was a demon lord and they usually find humans beneath them and unworthy of their time. Also, don't use my first name Haidu-san, I don't know you well enough for that, said Tyr. A demon lord, but they're as strong as the Satans and archangels. That means that this woman has the potential to be just as strong if not stronger, thought a surprised Rias. Naruto, I know you weren't expecting all this, but can you please put the seal up now, I have other things to do, said Tyr. Yeah, I'm on it, said Naruto as his right hand began to glow with his chakra, then with a few quick movements of his hand, he drew a seal on the ground. The seal glowed for a few moments before a large dome of chakra formed and covered everyone in the area. We should be fine now, so are there any rules for this fight? Asked Naruto. We only use the power given to us by our sacred gears, said Tear. Fine with me. Said Naruto before summoned Pantera to his side and unsheathed her. Tear summoned her sacred gear as well. Her sacred gear also took the form of a sword which was sheathed horizontally on her upper back. The sword didn't seem particularly long, but it was unusually wide. The guard was just as wide with 3 holes on each side, the handle was purple, and the sword was longer than the sheath. Using one of the holes on the guard, Tear unsheathed her sword, revealing that the sword was completely hollow in the middle, essentially consisting of nothing more than the edges of what would otherwise be a normal sword. This is Tear's sacred gear, Imperial Tiburon. The two stared each other down for a moment before they both disappeared using Sanito and appeared in front of each other with their swords locked. They broke apart and started slashing at each other with great speed. Sparks flew everywhere, while Tear stared at Naruto with a stoic look on her face, while Naruto had a large feral grin on his face. Tear then surprised him by parrying one of his attacks and then giving him a strong kick to the stomach that caused him to slide back. Now that there was some distance between them, Tear pulled her sword back as yellow spirit energy gathered within the hollow of her sword. She then thrusted her sword forward and launched a projectile energy blade at Naruto. "Hola is all," said Tear as she launched her attack. The attack was a direct hit causing a small cloud of smoke. When it cleared, it showed that Naruto had managed to block most of the damage, but the top half of his clothes were blown away. Every girl blushed at seeing Naruto's well-built body. Murayama and Caddis had perverted smiles on their faces. "Damn it, Tear, I have to pay for a new uniform now," said Naruto before charging at Tear. They clashed once again, but during the fight Naruto used Sanito to appear behind Tear. "Bala," said Naruto as he fired the attack at Tear's back. The attack hit and sent Tear flying forward only for Naruto to appear in front of her and kick her into the air. Appearing above her, he axe kicked her back to the ground while charging up another attack. "Zero," said Naruto as he fired the red energy blast at the downed Tear. Zero explode upon contact with Tear. Knowing that something like that wouldn't keep Tear down, Naruto used his spirit energy to stand on the air and waited for the smoke to clear. "Damn it, Naruto, do you have any idea how much it costs me to have these jackets specially made?" said Tear from within the smoke. "Well, now you know how I feel about having to buy another one of these expensive ass uniforms," said Naruto with a smirk. The smoke started to clear and Issei was drooling in anticipation at seeing Tear topless and seeing her large breasts. His happiness grew as the smoke cleared more and he saw an underboob with the right breast having a Gothic number 3 tattooed on it, but his happiness died when he saw that her nipples and the rest of her breasts were covered by some kind of bone plating. He then became horrified when he saw that the bone plating continued up her neck and covered the lower half of her face in some kind of scary shark-like mask. Everyone except for Naruto was surprised by Tiger's appearance. Naruto had seen her like this plenty of times before, though he did narrow his eyes at the tattoo on her right breast. "I see, so Tear, you've taken your mother's title and become the new Shark Empress," said Naruto. He remembered his father having a Gothic number 6 tattooed on his lower back and how he said that he would get a tattoo whenever he became the new Panther King. "That right, Naruto, you're looking at the 3rd Shark Empress," said Tear with a bit of pride in her voice. Tear had greatly admired her mother's strength and power growing up, and more than anything she wanted to live up to and surpass the standards her mother had set. "Well then, it seems I have a bit of catching up to do. I can't have you getting too far ahead of me," said Naruto before both of them charged at each other yet again. On the sidelines, Murayama and Caddis were watching the battle closely as they were amazed by Naruto's sword skills. They were a bit ticked off that he hadn't shown them this before, as he could have been helping them with the kendo club, but they decided they would talk to him about that later. "Your mate is quite strong," said a voice in Murayama's head. This had the effect of spooking her and causing her to quickly look around for the voice. "Calm yourself, mistress, I mean you no harm. If you wish to speak to me, simply think what you want to say and I will hear it," said the voice. Calming down, so Murayama decided to ask the voice a question. "Who are you?" asked Murayama. "I am your sacred gear," said the voice. "Sacred gear, you mean like what Naruto-kun and Harem-sen have?" asked Murayama. "Yes, I am very similar to the ones they have, though I'm also very different and will grant you different abilities. Though that will be for another time, as I'm not even fully awake within you yet," said the voice. "If you're not fully awake, then how are you speaking to me right now?" asked Murayama. "The power that was released by your mate and your potential harem sister earlier had awoken me just enough to allow me to talk to you. I am purposely forcing myself to not fully awaken, as you are currently not strong enough to handle my power and would be driven mad or be destroyed by it," said the voice. Murayama paled at what the voice said and was extremely glad that it forced itself to stay half asleep. I guess I should ask Naruto-kun to help train me so that you don't have to remain half asleep, said Murayama. I would recommend doing that, said the voice. By the way, can I at least know your name? Asked Murayama. Of course, my name is Hyorimaru, said the now named Hyorimaru. Well, Hyorimaru, I look forward to working with you when I'm stronger, said Murayama. What Murayama didn't know was that Caddis was having a similar conversation with her own sacred gear by the name of Sanbonzakura. Hineko, are you sensing anything from this? Asked Rias as she continued to watch Naruto and Tiger fight. Yes, but it's different from last time, said Kaneko. How so? Asked Rias. Last time he was using chakra. Chakra is made up of a mixture of both physical energy and spiritual energy. Now he's only using spiritual energy, which is very difficult for Yaokai to do since we are naturally born to mix the two energies and use chakra, said Kaneko. If it is as difficult as you say, then how can Naruto do it? Asked Rias, but she only got a shrug as an answer from the small girl. Maybe it has something to do with his sacred gear. Harable-san did say that the rule was that they could only use the power given to them by their sacred gears, said Akeno. Good point, Akeno. What's your evaluation on everything so far as their sword skills go, Kiba? Asked Rias. It's clear that they're masters of the sword, there is no hesitation in their strikes, but I can't tell if it is because they know each other well enough to know what the other can handle, if they're really trying to kill each other. I'm also surprised that they can move so fast. Is Naruto perhaps a knight like me? Asked Kiba. No, Benya and Tomo are my knights. Naruto is my mutated rook, answered Sona as she had overheard their conversation. If he's your rook, then how is he moving so fast? Even with training in order to overcome the lower speed that comes with being a rook, he shouldn't be as fast as he is now, asked Rias. Sorry Rias, but it's not my place to tell you, said Sona. Before Rias could say anything, there was a loud explosion and then the sound of fighting stopped. Everyone quickly looked to the battle and saw a battered and bloody Tear standing over an equally beat up Naruto with her sword at his throat. Sona, her peerage, Caddis, Murayama and Kaneko were worried for Naruto. Rias, Kiba and Akeno were looking at Tear with critical eyes. Issei couldn't wipe the smile off his face at finally seeing someone kick Naruto's ass. And poor Asia was scared out of her mind for her big brother's health. Looks like this round belongs to me, Naruto, said Tear while not taking her sword from his throat. She had learned from previous fights that Naruto was not down until he admitted to defeat, something that was very rare for him to do. Haha, yeah, you got me this time. So what's the score now? Asked Naruto as Tear took Tiburon from his throat and he got up. The score is 26 wins for you and 26 wins for me now. Our next fight will be the tiebreaker, said Tear. I see, well hopefully we won't have to hold back at all in that fight, said Naruto. Yes, well our battles up to now have been fun, it's time for us to settle down. Our next battle will be our last. We'll have this battle when we've both achieved our balance breakers and you have your rightful title as Panther King, said Tear. Right, I look forward to our fight, but you should know that it won't be our last, said Naruto with a smirk. Haha, you're probably right about that. Fighting you pushes me to be better, and if I wish to surpass my mother, I need to be stronger, said Tear. You'll get there, Tear, you're too strong not to, said Naruto before really looking at her injuries. Asia, come here please, called out Naruto. Asia ran over to Naruto as fast as she could and looked at him with big innocent and scared eyes. Naruto was glad that even after becoming a devil, Asia didn't lose her innocence. Thank Amaterasu for small miracles, Naruto thought to himself. Are you okay, big brother? You need healing, don't you? Asked Asia. Well yeah I do, but I want you to heal Tear, said Naruto. Are you sure, big brother? Asked Asia. Yeah, go on ahead and do your thing, said Naruto. Asia nodded nervously before moving over to Tear and started to heal her, all the while she kept glancing back at her big brother. Don't worry so much, Asia, I'll heal Naruto, you just focus on Harable-san, said Sona as she started to heal Naruto the same way she did when she first reincarnated him. It only took a few minutes before Naruto and Tear were healed and Naruto had taken down the barrier around them. Tear thanked Asia for healing her and then opened a garganta and was about to leave. Before you leave, Harable-san, I have a question. What exactly did you mean when you said it would be time for you and Naruto to settle down? Asked Sona. Naruto and I have been fighting each other ever since we were 5 years old. We've been at this little courtship ritual of ours for 11 years now. As the third Shark Empress and the future 7th Panther King, we can't keep playing childish games, therefore when we have our next battle we will marry once one of us wins, said Tear. Courtship ritual? Asked Naruto in confusion. Marry? Yelled Sona, her peerage, Caddis, Murayama and Kaneko. Yes, we will marry, demons, and even demon half-breeds only marry those that have proven themselves to us through battle. The 11 years of battling between Naruto and myself was basically him trying to gain my hand in marriage by proving himself a strong mate. I'm proud to say that he has more than proven himself to be worthy of me, so regardless of the outcome of our final battle we will marry. The final battle is really just to see who will be the dominant one in the relationship," said Tear. "And you didn't think to tell me about this, because?" asked Naruto. "I thought you would reject the idea," said Tear. "When I was younger, say maybe 11 or 12 I would have, but I've come to really like you Tear and was actually planning to ask you out. In other words I'm fine with this, but we don't have to get married right away do we? I mean I'm still in school," asked Naruto. "When we actually get married depends on the dominant one in our relationship, so if I win we'll be married right away, if you win we'll marry whenever you like," said Tear. Naruto nodded to this move to leave again, but was once again stopped from doing so, only this time it was by Rias. "Before you leave Harem, I'd like to make you an offer," said Rias. Naruto already didn't like where this was going. "I'm listening," said Tear. "I would like to offer you a spot in my peerage," said Rias. Naruto was almost ready to punch Rias in the face, she already had his little sister and now she wanted his new fiancé as well. "What is your name?" asked Tear. "Rias Gremory," said Rias. "Gremory, I've heard about your house and its kindness to its servants. I can assume that if I was to accept your offer I would be treated well, but I'm afraid that I must decline. Had you asked me earlier than this I might have accepted," said Tear. "Can you explain why I am too late?" asked Rias. "I'm the third Shark Empress, it would be disgraceful for me to serve anyone other than my mate," said Tear before finally she disappeared into the Garganta. "So I'm very dear to you huh?" asked Naruto with a smirk. "Yes you are dear to me," said Sona as she looked away from him with a blush on her face. Naruto just continued to smirk at her before Caddis walked up and slapped him upside his head. "What did you do that for?" asked Naruto. "Don't just sit there smirking, tell her you like her too," said Caddis. Naruto was about to retort but stopped when he saw Caddis glaring at him, clicking his teeth. Naruto walked over to Sona and kissed her on the cheek. This surprised everyone while Caddis and Murayama just smirked. "I'm going to the student council office to finish some paperwork," said Naruto before opening his own Garganta and walking through it. Caddis and Murayama walked off while everyone else still stood there in shock. Sona had a bright blush on her face, but she also had a small smile on her face. Soon everyone started to leave through magic circles, but Sona stopped Rias before she could leave. "Rias, Naruto may think I notice his actions, but I do, I notice that every time you are brought up, he becomes irritated and angry. I've asked him if anything was wrong and he has refused to tell, but I'm sure it has something to do with you. I know Naruto isn't one to get upset with someone for no reason, so tell me Rias, what did you do?" asked Sona. Rias sighed at this, but relented and told Sona what she had said to Naruto. Needless to say Sona was shocked her friend would say something like that to anyone. "Rias, that was very cruel and foolish of you to do," said Sona. "I know Sona, and to be honest, I don't know why I said those things to him or why I was willing to just let him die, but none of that matters now, as everything turned out fine for him," said Rias. "It matters to him Rias, Naruto is a very prideful man and he can hold a grudge, he is not someone you want as a future enemy. I told you I've seen his actions, but I've seen your actions as well Rias, and I don't like that you're trying to manipulate a member of my peerage," said Sona. "We're devils Sona, manipulating people comes easy to us and I need all the help I can get with my problem," said Rias. "I understand that you're in a terrible situation right now Rias, but this isn't the way to fix it, you're not acting like yourself," said Sona. "That's easy for you to say, you managed to get out of your situation," yelled Rias. "I know that Rias, and I really wish I could help you with yours," said Sona. "You can just temporarily trade Naruto to me," said Rias. "I can't do that Rias, not only would I hurt Naruto by trading him away, but there is a strong possibility of him becoming a stray just so he gets away from you," said Sona. "Whatever," said Rias before she left. Sona sighed at this before she too left. Later that night, Naruto walked into his two-bedroom apartment with a sigh as he had finished all of his paperwork. Taking off his shoes and moving toward the living room Naruto saw Asia on the couch in her pajamas sleeping. She had come to live with him after he kept her from being killed for her sacred gear. "She must have stayed up waiting for me to come home," Naruto thought to himself. Walking over to her Naruto picked her up bridal style and carried her to the second bedroom and tucked her in, he was glad she was already in her pajamas. Going to his own bedroom Naruto found Middled, Rainer and Calwarner sleeping in his bed, they too had come to live with him after they had gotten Asia. He didn't mind them sleeping in his bed as he actually liked that he usually woke up with either Calwarner's or Rainer's breasts in his face, though he was planning on getting a bigger place. Walking over to his nightstand, he reached in and pulled out an old leather-backed notebook with his mother's name on it. This was her notebook that she kept all of her notes for her techniques in. Taking it to the living room, Naruto sat on the couch and started going through some of his mother's notes. He wanted to make his mother proud, so he was going to master every technique in the notebook. A few minutes later, his attention was taken from the notebook when he felt two large soft mounds push into the back of his head. Looking up, he saw Rainer standing over her with a small smile on her face. She walked around so that she was standing in front of, and Naruto saw that she was completely naked. Her voluptuous body shined in the moonlight that came through his window, showing off her hard soft pink nipples. Rainer was only one of the 3 fallen angels that slept naked. She walked around the apartment naked, and poor Asia had fainted out of pure embarrassment when she came home one day and found Rainer sitting on the couch naked. Naruto didn't mind Rainer's nudist habits, but he did ask that she at least put on some clothes when she knew Asia would be around. Rainer then straddled his lap, wrapped her arms around his neck, and lightly kissed him on the lips. This was something that happened a lot with Rainer, Middle, and Kalwerner, as they were very straightforward in what they wanted to do with him. Middle had just started to wake him up in the morning with a blowjob. Kalwerner would join him in the shower every now and again, and Rainer would straddle him at random times, and they would make out. Naruto hadn't had sex with any of them yet, but they made it clear that they wanted it. "Is there something I can do for you, Rainer?" asked Naruto after they broke from the kiss. "You can stop being a cut tease and fuck me," said Rainer with seductive look on her face. "That's a very tempting idea," said Naruto as he ran his hand up and down her sides before groping her ass. "Oh, then fuck me already. You know, you're the only person I know that can have 3 beautiful women in his bed, but instead of ravishing them you sit on the couch and read," said Rainer. "I like to keep people guessing," said Naruto before he laid her down and they started making out. Rainer moaned loudly as Naruto moved his hands from her ass and started playing with her breasts. This continued for about half an hour before they broke apart. "We felt your power surge earlier today, is everything okay?" asked Rainer. Hearing this, Naruto told her about everything that had happened, and once he was done she couldn't help but laugh at him. "Things like this could only happen to you, haha. So now that you know how Sona feels about you, how do the others feel, and how are things going to go for you and Sona?" asked Rainer. "I've always known that the rest of the girls in the peerage like me, as they're not as good at hiding it like Sona is. I'm going to wait for them to say something before I do anything. As for how things are going to go with Sona, they'll go slow, as that's just the kind of girl Sona is. Going fast with a girl like Sona will only scare her off," said Naruto. Rainer nodded at this and was about to start their makeout session again, but instead she found herself in Naruto's arms as he carried her to the bedroom. She pouted at this, as she knew this meant they weren't going to have sex. Naruto was the only man she knew that would carry a girl to his bedroom and not fuck her. "You're mean, Naruto-kun, why won't you fuck me?" asked Rainer. "It's not like I don't want Ray-chan, you're a very sexy and beautiful woman and I would love to hear you screaming my name, but there is just a lot going on right now," said Naruto. 2 weeks later. Sona, Tsubaki, and Naruto were walking towards the occult research club in order to partake in a meeting that was supposed to be going on. Over the 2 weeks, Naruto has increased the intensity of his personal training and has also been training with his fellow peerage members. Tsubaki, Momo, and Rya have been helping him practice his magic and learn spells. He's been refining his sword skills with Benya and Tomo, while also helping them further their own skills. He's paired with Tsubasa, Ruruko, and Saji, and Sona has been helping him study devil law, traditions, and many other things. He's also been training with Rainer, Kalwerner, and Middled in order to increase his hero's resistance to light magic. He was surprised though when Caddis and Murayama asked him for training and told him that they had sacred gears similar to his own as well. He asked Sona if this would be okay, and she encouraged him to train them as it would keep them from losing control when their sacred gears were fully awoken. Other than training, Naruto had also been doing quite a number of contracts, mostly from women clients. Some of them just wanted someone to talk to, some of the single moms wanted him to babysit, a lot of them wanted a date to make their ex-boyfriends jealous, and even more of them wanted him to pamper them. His personal life has been going great, as Caddis and Murayama were happy. He had actually taken the 3 fallen angel girls out on separate dates in order to get to know them better. He spent time with Kaneko and Asia, and he has even taken Sona out on 3 dates. Word had already spread around school that they were dating, so now it was public knowledge that he had 3 girlfriends, something that the boys hated since he had 3 girls, and the girls were jealous that they weren't one of his girls, so they tried harder to get his attention. He and Sona never did much in public other than a quick kiss on either the cheek or lips, hold hands, and a quick hug. "Why are we going to see Rias again?" asked Naruto with irritation clear in his voice. Sona had talked to him about his feelings towards Riaz, and while she understood why he felt the way he did, she asked him to at least behave himself. He promised he would try, but if she did something to piss him off then he might just have to leave to get some air. Riaz has reminded me that, as co-governor of this territory, any meetings that take place here with a foreign party is just as much my concern as it is hers. Therefore, despite my personal feelings of not wanting to be a part of this meeting, I'm duty-bound to participate," said Sona as she adjusted her glasses. "And Tsubaki, and I have to come because why, I have paperwork to do?" asked Naruto. "As Sona-sama's queen I go everywhere with her, you are here more for protection," said Tsubaki. "Protection?" asked Naruto. "The person we are going to have this meeting with is an arrogant pig and I fully expect him to be insulting," said Sona. "You can't honestly expect me to be able to behave myself with a guy like that, right?" asked Naruto. "No, but I do expect him to purposely do something to antagonize you and I fully expect you to retaliate," said Sona. "That I can do," said Naruto with a smirk. Soon they arrived at the club room and walked in. Inside, Naruto saw everyone he was expecting to see, but there was someone new. She was a beautiful woman with fair skin, silver eyes, long silver hair that featured a long braid on each side with small blue bows at the ends, while the rest is let down ending in twin braids. She had a voluptuous body, long legs, thick thighs, wide hips, a juicy ass, and E-cup breasts. Her clothes, she wore a blue and white French-made uniform with a matching headpiece. This woman is Graphia Lucifuge, head maid of the House of Gremory and queen to the current Lucifer, Surzich's Lucifer. "Sona, I'm glad you could make it," said Riaz. "Good evening Sona-sama, please have a seat," said the ever-stoic Graphia. "Good evening to you, as well Graphia-san, and of course I made it Riaz. It is my duty after all," said Sona as she took a seat on the couch with Tsubaki and Naruto standing behind her. "I see you've got a new piece, Sona-sama," said Graphia. Due to Riaz and Sona being friends, Graphia knew Sona's peerage just as well as she knew Riaz's peerage, though she was becoming increasingly annoyed by Riaz's new pawn as he kept staring at her breasts and ass. "Yes I have, this is my mutated Rook Naruto Jijijakas," said Sona. Graphia's eyes widened in shock at his last name before she calmed down and addressed him. "Excuse me Jijijakas-san, but do you happen to have any relation to Grimjo Jijijakas?" asked Graphia. "Yes, he's my dad," said Naruto. "I see, in that case after all of this I will be needing to speak to you and Sona-sama. The leader of the Yaokai faction has been looking for you," said Graphia, surprising the hell out of Riaz and Sona. "Ye-chan has been looking for me? I wonder what she could need from me." Naruto said more to himself than anyone else. "Naruto, you know the leader of the Yaokai faction?" asked a surprised Sona. "Yeah, she and my mom were really close friends. I spent a good deal of time with her, which is probably why I'm one of the few people she lets call her Ye-chan," said Naruto. Before anyone could say anything a magic circle appeared in the room and out of it came fire followed by a man. The man had fair skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, and an athletic build. For clothes he wore brown shoes, red slacks, a white dress shirt, and a red blazer. "This man is Rizer Phoenix." "Ah, the human world, it's been a while since Rizer was last here," said Rizer. Time passed, and Naruto learned that this pompous asshole named Rizer was Ria's fiancé due to a contract. Naruto smirked at Issei's depressed form when he learned this. Naruto was then forced to listen to Rizer, and Riaz argued back and forth about how Riaz didn't want to marry him. Naruto actually found himself conflicted here, as well he didn't like Riaz right now, he also didn't like the idea of being forced to marry someone. He was brought out of his conflicted thoughts when he heard Issei yelling at Rizer about leaving Riaz alone, and Riaz telling Rizer that Issei wanted to be a harem king. Rizer then summoned peerage and taunted Issei with it by kissing and groping his queen in front of him. Naruto was disgusted by this, but he noticed some things. The first thing he noticed was that Rizer's queen didn't seem to be enjoying what he was doing to her, but she went along with it anyway, and the other thing he noticed was the two Nekomata in Rizer's peerage, and they seemed to have noticed him as well. Naruto openly laughed though when he saw Issei try to attack Rizer, only to get a beatdown from the man's pawn by the name of Mira. Naruto's laugh finally got Rizer to pay attention to Sona, Tsubaki, and Naruto. "Oh Sona and what seems to be some of her peerage are here as well. You can go now, this doesn't concern you," said Rizer. "Sorry, but I will be staying, this is my territory just as much as it is Ria's, so what goes on here concerns me as well," said Sona. "Whatever, just sit there and only speak when you're spoken to," said Rizer. "Excuse me Phoenix, but you will not speak to my king with such disrespect," said Naruto with sneer. "And just who the hell are you?" asked Rizer. "Naruto Jijijakas, Sona-sama's mutated rook," said Naruto. Another low class cum, just sit down and let your betters talk about things you wouldn't understand, weakling. Said Riser. Everything went deadly quiet after that as Naruto stood there with his hair shadowing his eyes. Sona, Tsubaki, and Kaneko knew that Riser had fucked up as they could tell that Naruto was pissed. Rias was hoping something like this would happen as Naruto would see just how much of an asshole Riser was and agree to help her. Grafia eyed Naruto with caution as she could feel the power building up inside of him. Low class cum, my betters, and a fucking weakling. You dare to say all of this to me, I'll fucking grind you to dust. Yelled Naruto before using Sunito to appear in front of Riser and delivered a powerful right hook to the jaw that sent Riser flying across the room until he was embedded into the wall. He was about to move in order to press the attack, but then Mira appeared between him and Riser. Mira was a cute girl with fair skin, brown eyes, blue hair styled in 4 ponytails with 2 pointed up and 2 pointed down, a slender build, toned legs, a firm ass, and B-cup breasts. Her clothes, she wore a white haori with a red obi under a red happy coat, bandages on her forearms and shins, black guards on her hands, and on her feet is a pair of zori. In her hands is her weapon of choice, a wooden staff. Moving quickly she swung her staff at Naruto, but much to her horror when her staff met Naruto's body it shattered. As she looked at her broken weapon, Naruto delivered a vicious palm thrust to her chest and sent her flying right out the window. With her out of the way, he turned his attention back to Riser, only to find the rest of the man's peerage between him and his prey. Naruto growled at them and was about to move them out of his way as well, but was stopped by Sona. That's enough, Naruto, please control yourself. Said Sona. Naruto stopped in his tracks and took several deep breaths before he walked back to Sona and stood behind her. You should learn to control that filthy animal of yours, Sona. Said Riser as he finally pulled himself out of the wall while rubbing his jaw. Well, his healing factor had already fixed the damage the attack had caused, but for some reason he could still feel the pain. And you should watch, you insult, next time we'll do nothing and happily watch Naruto tear you to shreds, said Sona with narrowed eyes. Naruto smirked as he liked this aggressive side of Sona. The meeting continued once Riser had someone get Mira was unconscious. In the end it was decided that Rias and Riser would have a ratting game in order to decide if Rias would marry Riser. Riser gave Rias 10 days to train her peerage in order to be ready for the ratting game before he and his peerage left. Naruto noticed that some of Riser's peerage gave him some lingering looks before they left. Grafia bowed to Rias and Sona before she too left in order to inform her master as to how things went, though she did say that she'd be back to talk to Naruto and Sona. So Naruto, after meeting my fiancé, do you see why I need your help? Asked Rias. Yeah. Said Naruto. So will you help me now? Asked Rias. No. Said Naruto with sneer. Rias narrowed her eyes at this as she played her final card. I see, well then I hope you know that if I lose this ratting game, then not only do I have to marry that pig, but he also gains control over my peerage. This means that he can do as he pleases with not only me, but Ikeno, Kiba, Issei, Kaneko, and Asia. Said Rias. Naruto growled loudly at this and started to pace the room. Sona and Tsubaki didn't like that Rias was manipulating Naruto like this, but they couldn't say anything because everything that Rias said was true. Naruto, I'm not going to force you to do anything, but Rias is telling you the truth, said Sona. Hearing this, Naruto stopped pacing and punched a hole in the wall next to him. I'll help you train. By sensing Ikeno's power, I can tell that she mainly fights with magic, so if she needs it, I'll be the target for her spells. I can tell just by looking at Kiba that he's good with a sword, so I'll help him refine his fighting style. I'll train Kaneko in whatever she wants. Asia isn't a fighter, so you'll need to teach her some barrier spells and how to dodge, and Issei can go fuck himself. Said Naruto. I see, thank you for doing this for me. Said Rias with a smile at finally getting her way. Her smile disappeared when she was forced to her knees by Naruto releasing his power on her. Naruto looks at her with a feral sneer on his face before speaking. Don't get it fucking twisted, Gremory, the only reason I'm doing this shit is so I know I did my best to keep that bastard away from Kaneko and Asia. If they weren't in your peerage I wouldn't be helping you at all. Said Naruto before his eyes quickly cut to Sona before looking back at Rias. And I guess the fact that Sona would be sad if something happens to you factors into this as well. In my honest opinion, you and Riser deserve each other. You're both manipulative assholes that look down on others just because you think they're weak. Said Naruto before storming out of the room. Tsubaki goes after Naruto and makes sure he calms down without destroying anything. Said Sona. Yes, Sona-sama. Said Tsubaki before she quickly ran after Naruto. Geez, what the hell is his problem? Why is he always such an asshole? Said Issei. Be silent, Haidu-san, I will not have you speaking ill of Naruto for simply speaking the truth. Said Sona with a dangerous edge to her voice. What are you talking about, Sona? I'm nothing like Riser. Said Riaz as she slowly got up from the ground. Don't be so sure about that, Riaz. I mean, just look at how you've been acting lately. You allowed Haidu-san to die just so you could reincarnate him. You left Naruto to die after the terrible things you said to him. You've used his friendship with Taoju-san in order to get information out of him, and you just used the fact that he deeply cares for Taoju-san and Argento-san to manipulate him into helping you. You haven't been acting like the Riaz that I have called a good friend for years, you're acting like a female version of Riser. Said Sona before she turned and left. She's right, I don't like the Riaz I've been seeing lately, and I want the old Riaz back. Come on Asia, I'll take you home. Said Kaneko as she walked towards the door with Asia quietly following her. Thanks for watching my video, see you next time, till then sayonara.